Hey, welcome back there, Gray Mains. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. If you're looking to melt through your bosses like this,
A nosy rat crept in, for staining this sacred ground with your filthy feet. Your blood shall...
then I'm going to show you where to pick up this equipment and get your build started. Now, we're going to start off with the bear. It is a great companion to have, one for riding, but he also joins you in battle. Now, it sounds like the wolf also does that, but just for the sheer tankiness of this bear, we're going to go ahead and use it for this video here. But we're going to show you the location for the bear first. If you come from Hernand, because everybody seems to know where that's at, we're going to come up from the back side of the inn. We're going to go straight due north, straight up. Okay, you'll see Silver Mountain. We're going to zoom in a little bit. There is a fast travel, well, right up in here, almost above the S. If you go right above that little lake there by Silver Mountain, you'll see that fast travel. But when you look down here, there is a peak right here. This is the area you want to go, and you will have to battle the white bear there. You will have to kill it and then skin it. After you skin it, it's going to give you a bear paw and a hat to wear if you want it for a helmet. And then you need to take that bear paw down. Coming again, we're going to go from, we'll come from the back of the A and come straight south. And that is where the Witch Woods is at. And right here next to that is the witch's house. When you go in there, you will go to craft abyss items, and you will tab over using RB until you see the bear mount contract there, and she will mount that, or she will craft that contract. You will go into your inventory and use it. Your bear is then available for use. Now, if you're wondering how do you get him, it's pretty easy. Holding up on D-pad, down on the right joystick, you can tab between your existing mount, which would be a horse, and your legendary mount there, and that's what calls them in. So that is how you do that. Now, let's discuss the build of our weapons here and some of the stuff that you've seen in that video against these bosses. That was the half moon and then, of course, the full moon reaper. And I don't consider them to be a very difficult boss, more of a mini boss, but still, we melted through those pretty quick and easy from what it looked like. Now, coming to inventory, we've done quite a bit of work on this since the last time. Now, we had discussed mixing different types of armor I went ahead and put Pillar of Wind on this as well because I'm going to be getting that Storm perk here probably in the next day or two. I'm going to go ahead and get those puzzles done. We do have Fire, Electric, and of course the Ice. To me, the Electric's okay, but I haven't noticed where it does a lot of damage, so it's not something that I really go to. It's one of the first and easiest ones there is to pick up. And let's see here. So we have the Golden Knotted Ancestral Bow. Now, we've got some pretty awesome things on this. The 40% chance to not consume arrows, and that works out pretty good. It doesn't exactly give you double the amount, but pretty close to it. Does a pretty good job of that. We've got Attack 1, Health Siphon on there, and 2 criticals on there as well. And then going to our Hollow Visage, we have Ancient Retribution, and then we have Wind Slash. Now, those are the orbs that come down like meteor strikes we've showed you. We'll go ahead and show you on here one more time using the... Okay. And then we have on our other weapon here. And then, of course, Wind Slash, I don't know what that is. That's one of the ones where you hold your block button and then just spam your attacks. Coming in with R1. Just like that. That's how you'll do wind attack. Okay, now the wind attack does come on the Sword of the Lord, which is what you get from beating that horn splitter. So that's a good one to have, and you can pull these abyss items off and put them on anything that you want. Our secondary sword that we're using, because we are dual wielding, is Melted Ambition. As you see, we have these refined to 9 of 9. We can continue to take these up, but I have to get up into level 11 or chapter 11 to be able to get dragon scales to continue to bring these up. Now this one's had a lot of work done to it. Ground Surge on here, Adder's Orb, and Spirit's Judgment as well. So you may be wondering, okay, what is Ground Surge? That is that lava effect that we put out whenever we do this. Okay. That we have now ticked off the locals. Let's move on. Do not want a bounty. Okay, let's see if we can find us a little hill to practice on here. Okay, so then our next attribute on this sword here is called the Adder's Orb. That's pretty simple. That's just hitting R2. It does tell you how to use those. These bring the orbs in, and they bombard bosses and things like that, as you could have seen in that video there. And then, of course, we have this one. Here's one of my favorites. Spirit's Judgment. You get this from fighting the Flame Knight. He also has a sword and a pretty sweet shield that you can see on the back of our character. The shield actually has an attack value of 16. Doesn't have anything for defense, but it does have an attack value of 16, so that's pretty cool. If you want to dual wield that instead of another sword, I would recommend it. And then, of course, the perk that you get from him is also called Spirit's Judgment, and what that is, that brings in this giant ghost, and he comes down and he will drop in and just crush the enemy whenever you're up next to the enemy, as you can see in that battle. Pretty good stuff. Now, we have done a few alterations to our armor here since the last time. Pillar of Wind, again, like I say, that's for a future expansion on there. There's nothing you can do to the center chorus here, the curses, whatever you want to call it, the plate armor and stuff like that. And there's not really anything you can do to the frost plate cloak, or any cloak really, that's in the legendary status. Now, your typical cloaks, I haven't been able to find one that you can do anything with either. So, but there are a few of these chest pieces that you can modify if you choose to. And then, of course, our Scorched Flame boots, we went ahead and put 35% turning slash, and those orbs of lightning and doing lightning. So what that looks like is an area of effect. Now, there's also another really sweet, let's get out of this lightning so we don't get fried here. There is a pretty sweet little ring here as well that we picked up, and that's called Ring of Lightning. And anytime it's raining, you can actually use this, hold L2 and R2, and it will call in a lightning storm that zaps everybody around. Works a lot better than the orbs of lightning we just did. Now, if you don't have orbs of lightning, you can still emit lightning, but it looks a little bit more like your frost damage, just coming off of your character like that, so it's not as effective. So what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for a orb or some sort of an abyss fragment that's going to allow me to actually project that frost damage out. And we do kind of have that. We can come in over here and choose our frost here, and then of course we could charge up our bow if we wanted to and give that a nice shot. And you can do the same thing with the electric as well over here. And of course, there's that ring. We also have a necklace. It's called a radiant necklace. If you end up with harpies or even those little floaty dudes around the sanctuaries, you can hit this thing, hit L2 and R2 when it's charged up. It does take a while for it to charge, and it will actually clear the skies. It'll just zap everything that's floating around that's of the evil nature. So pretty cool on that aspect. But yeah, so this build is definitely coming along. Now, I've not really used two-handed weapons a whole lot, but I am working on this one here. It's called Vessel of Dark Pursuit. It has this Wound of Darkness, R1 and R2 to use it. We will go ahead and see what this looks like here. So that is an effect that we picked up at one of the Abyss locations. I will show you where that was at, or not the Abyss locations, I'm sorry. It was actually at one of the Sanctums, and it was the Sanctum that was right over, where you at? Seemed like it was this Sanctum right here. The Sanctum of Atonement, if I'm not mistaken. So, anyway, you pick that up from a mini boss inside the Sanctum there, and it's not a bad weapon. Like I said, I don't use a whole lot of two-handed stuff, but it does have some pretty good attributes to it. And of course, we've went ahead and added a few things to it because, why not? You may as well go ahead and utilize all those slots. So let's look at what we've got here. We now have critical rate, attack, critical rate 1 on there as well, and recover resources on kill. So I've thought about maybe moving that one to my Visage, my hollow visage, where it just automatically recovers the resources. The problem with that is most of my questing now is over here in the Crimson Desert area, which is in the northeast. And when you go around, you're taking out a lot of these desert dwellers. What you end up getting is a lot of these desert packs, and all it is doing is filling up your inventory with garbage, basically. So I don't really use that. I may actually pull that perk off of there because it is kind of a hindrance whenever I'm trying to do my gaming. So, but I hope this video has found you good, and I hope it's inspired you on your own builds. And like I say, there's more than one way to do your build. There's more than one way to skin a cat. If you're looking at the armor again, we have mixed that up so that we have some resistance against that fire and against the frost as well. And I will probably end up maybe going to Levig's or whatever his name was, cloak, or a cloak that's going to give us something for electricity. I haven't really fully decided yet, but let's go ahead and bring this shield out. We're going to check that out real quick too, because like I said, it looks like it's going to be pretty decent. I may actually start using it as well because it's basically a dual wield as well. So we will use R1 or L1 and R2 following 3 guards. So you'll have to guard 3 times, and then whenever you hit this, it will actually shoot a fireball out of its mouth. It's got let's see if we can see it there. It's got a little funnel there in its mouth that it will shoot fire straight out of that shield. So pretty cool stuff. So I do recommend that you pick that up. Again, that's part of the main mission line here in Diminished. You will end up fighting the Flame Knight, and you will have to take and beat him. And wasn't too bad, just like I say, keep your skill points up where you can. Before you go into the Crimson Desert, the very first mission that they're going to give you guys is to seek out the voice. And whenever you start looking for the voice, he's going to have 4 challenges. And while I'm equipped for all but one of those right now, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that here, and then we're going to end the video. What you have to do is you have Market Scar, Crossing Point, Morning Fog, and Fragrance of Darkness. Now, what that means is whenever you read those different types of tiles that they had on it, they're going to be testing your skill abilities in here. So one of them is going to require at least a stamina of 5. Then, of course, we needed at least a spirit of 5. And then you're going to need one that is a health of 7. So at minimum. So I'm up to a 6. Right now, we're just out grinding some stuff. Actually, I think we may actually be able to go ahead and get this up to a 7 now. So that is going to be our 7. So now we can actually start progressing into the chapter 9 and on toward chapter 10, which is going to be pretty awesome. So have a wonderful evening, folks.
As a bonus, here's where you get your bull.